Hello BookTube. Instead of doing a tag for Tag Tuesday, I'm going to be doing 3 music or related top 10 lists. In the past few days, Sean D. Standfast, who I'll leave a link to his channel in the show notes down below, released the top 10 singers and top 10 songs. And I'm going to be adding the top 10 groups or bands. I really enjoyed those the 2 videos and asked if I could make my own version, and Sean graciously said I could. So here is a top 10 trio of music related stuff. So my top 10 singers are honorable mentions. Miyavi, he's a Japanese singer whose work is always just frenetic and enjoyable. Elton John, who needs not a whole lot of commentary. He's absolutely fabulous. And Nana Mouskouri, she's a Greek singer who has probably sung almost every song ever written, and whose range in voice is just magical. Coming in at number 10 is Grace Jones. She's a Jamaican-American singer whose spoken song style is just amazing. I love her song Demolition Man, and also Libertango. At number 9 is Owen Pallett. He's a Canadian singer-songwriter who his work is just so evocative and haunting. I love his voice. Coming in at number 8 is Keiko Lee. She's a Japanese jazz singer whose the deepness of her voice is so haunting, and just I love what I've heard of her. At number 7 is Lorena McKennitt. She is a Canadian singer-songwriter who is part folk, part new age, and her voice is so traditional and haunting and lovely. Coming in at number 6 is Enya. She's an Irish singer-songwriter and multi-talented musician, instrumentalist, who her work is a mainstay of new age, and it's just so wonderful. At number 5 is Sheryl Crow. She's an American singer-songwriter whose work is just raw, and I absolutely adore pretty much everything I've ever heard from her. At number 4 is Tori Amos. She again is an American singer-songwriter whose works are just so deep and rich, and I love it. At number 3 is Siouxsie Sioux. She is the lead singer of Siouxsie and the Banshees, and I pretty much love everything from them, and she will appear again in the top 10 groups. At number 2 is Darren Hayes. He was the lead singer of Savage Garden as well as a solo act, and his work is so wonderful, and it's so rich in a range from like bubbly pop to like deep and depressing. It's wonderful. And at number 1 is Rufus Wainwright. He's an American singer and songwriter whose works just affect me in a wonderful way. I love his work. Moving on to top 10 singers. The honorable mentions are Guns N' Roses, who I really like some of their work, although not all of it. I mean, there are a few songs that are my favorites, and some of the rest of it, yeah, I could leave or take. And another honorable mention is Nico Touches the Walls. They are a Japanese band who are famous for the number of songs that they have in that are used for anime openings and closings. But I really love what I've heard from them. So coming in at number 10 is La Oreja de Van Gogh. They are a Spanish band who I've listened to for years, and they just really speak to me. At number 9 is Vampire Weekend. They are an American band whose works are just so deep and rich, and I enjoy it. At number 8 is Stray Kids. They are a Korean boy band who I have fallen in love with the past few months. Their work is so deep and hard and bubbly at the same time. It's an amazing combination. And number 7 is Death Cab for Cutie. They are an American band who I've listened to for almost 20 years now, and I adore them, particularly their earlier work. At number 6 is The Corrs. They are an Irish band who, again, I've listened to for years, and their work is just amazing. At number 5 is ABBA. They are a Swedish band who basically are the epitome of disco. And I've listened to them for years, and I love their compilation album. At number 4 is BTS. They are a Korean boy band who have taken the world by storm in the past few years, and their work is just so amazing. At number 3 is Menomina. They are an American band who I've listened to for years, and their work is so amazing. When on the rare opportunities that I listen to music before I go to bed, I'm usually watching some longer YouTube videos because there's a lot of booktube to watch. But sometimes I will listen to music, and I will, instead of gravitating towards my playlist, I will select individual albums to listen to. And Menomina is, particularly their album Friend or Foe, is always at the top of my list. At number 2 is Siouxsie and the Banshees. They are an English punk band who I pretty much have loved their work for a good chunk of my life. It is just amazing. I mean, the gothic, the punk, the bubbly, it's so wonderful. And at number 1 is Savage Garden. They are an Australian band who are comprised of Darren Hayes and Daniel Jones. And of the 2 albums that they produced, I pretty much love every song on both albums. It's just amazing. They are by far my favorite band. Moving on to my favorite songs, I think I have some honorable mentions here too. Yes, I do. Fake Love by BTS is definitely an honorable mention. It's one of my favorite songs by them. Also, I would point to the band, Diver by Nico Touches the Walls. It's probably my favorite song from them. It's one of the openings to Naruto Shippuden during the 5 Kage Summit arc. And once I get around to collecting more Naruto, which will probably be my next big manga project. Spoiler alert for my November Book Hall of Madness, because I finished somebody. But anyway, getting back to my top 10 songs. At number 10 is O Mare e Tu by Andrea Bocelli and Dulce Pontes. I have loved this song for years. It's so amazing. The back and forth between Bocelli and Pontes, it's amazing. At number 9 is I Would Do Anything for Love, But I Won't Do That by Meatloaf. I love this song. It is amazing. And number 8 is September Song by Lotte Lenya. I have loved this song for years, although I don't listen to it nearly as much as I would like. It is rather hard to come by, but it is just such a trip. At number 7 is Edge of 17 by Stevie Nicks. This song is it's speaks to me, and it's spoken to me for so many years. I love it. At number 6 is Addicted by Dan Seals. This song hits me in a way that takes me back to my childhood. When I was younger, my mom would take me and my brother on long drives, and whenever this song would play on the radio or show up on cassette, I would start to bawl. I would start to bawl. Um, and even though I don't bawl when I listen to it now, it still hits me in a way. And it's just, I love it. Number 5 is Paradise City by Guns N' Roses. I have loved this song ever since I first heard it as the theme song of a video game. I think it's called Paradise City. It's basically was a PS3 game, and it's basically you play your car and you drive through this city, and you could like do races or you could just explore and pretty much tear up the city if you wanted to. And I just Paradise City would play, and I would love it, and that pretty much opened the door to a lot of Guns N' Roses songs, which I could probably have added. I do have a lot of favorite songs. I probably could actually have done not just a top 10 list, but a top 100. But this is a top 10 list, so let's keep going. So number 4 is Two Beds and a Coffee Machine by Savage Garden. It's one of my favorite songs by them. It's about spousal abuse and also probably child abuse as well, about a woman who has left her abusive husband and has taken the kids, and ultimately the song is knowing that the depressing part is that she eventually has to go back or something, and it's heart-wrenching but beautiful at the same time. At number 3 is Carousel by Susie and the Banshees. This song is just so much fun, even though it is kind of scary at the same time. I love that the voice and the music it's wonderful. At number 2 is All Time High by Rita Coolidge. This is the theme song to the James Bond film Octopussy. When I was younger, the James Bond films would play in a somewhat marathon format on, I think it was TBS, the Turner Broadcasting System. I think that's what it's called. Anyway, but they would air like around Thanksgiving, and I think around Christmas, and maybe another time during the year, but it was mostly like around Thanksgiving and Christmas. And I remember the first time I ever watched the James Bond films was the year I turned 12 for Thanksgiving. Like it was around Thanksgiving, so it was after I turned 12. And the night before, it was like the last day of school before Thanksgiving break, and I had watched Octopussy the night before, and the theme song All Time High was playing in my head. It was an earworm, and I was in home ec, and we were watching a movie, and we were and I think another class came in to join us, and it was one of the upper grades. I was in 6th grade, and it would have been the 7th graders, and there was a magical moment that it has stuck with me. And this song always, when I play it in my, like I listen to it or I play it in my head as an earworm, I always think back to my first crush, and it's just wonderful. And finally, number 1 is Poses by Rufus Wainwright. This is my favorite song by him. It is wonderful. It is heartbreaking and powerful, and I absolutely love it. So that is my trio of top 10 music stuff. I really had a lot of fun doing this. So anyway, I think I might do top 10 superheroes and top 10 supervillains tomorrow for Comic Book Day, since Wednesday traditionally is Comic Book Day in the United States, and I think around the world as well, although that might have since changed, and it's now technically Tuesday that is Comic Book Day. But anyway, tomorrow I will do a top 10 superheroes and supervillains. I have a good idea what my 10 superheroes are. The villains are kind of giving me a bit of a hard time, which I guess is natural for them. So anyway, I will see you tomorrow with that. And then Thursday, I might have another video up. I don't know. Depends how Thanksgiving turns out. And on Friday, I will have weekly reads, which will likely be earlier in the day. I might have a later video, depending, but yeah. Needless to say, my reading week has not quite gone how I would have liked it to. Rents incoming Friday. But anyway, so thank you, BookTube. Have a great afternoon, and I will see you tomorrow. So until then, thank you and stay safe.